In this, we will see how do we simulate processing time of two different assemblies, and then finally how do we calculate the overall processing time for the particular company. The question goes like this: a company is engaged in producing different types of high-class equipment for use in science laboratories. The company has two different assembly lines to produce its most popular product. The processing time for each of the assembly line is given regarded as a random variable and is described by the following probability distribution. So here they gave us processing time in minutes from 10 to 14, and in assembly 1, what is the probability of these processing time that is being given. Similarly, for assembly 2 also, they gave us the probability for the time spent to be this. Using the following random numbers, generate data on the process time for 15 units of the item and compute the expected process time for the product. For the purpose, read the numbers vertically, taking the first two digits for the processing time on assembly 1 and the next two digits for processing time on assembly 2. Means when we consider the random numbers, 41 should be considered for assembly 1, 34 should be considered for assembly 2. Then we should go down vertically, means 74 for assembly 1, 76 for assembly 2, 49 for assembly 1, 43 for assembly 2. Then come back here, 83 for assembly 1, 43 for assembly 2. Like that, we should consider these random numbers. So now, based on the data being given, we will create two different probability distributions or cumulative probability distribution, and then assign random numbers for assembly 1 as well as assembly 2 like this. So first of all, for assembly 1, the processing time given, we are considering the same, and then this data, assembly 1 data. Then we consider the cumulative probability. First one will be 0.1 as it is. 0.1 plus 0.15, we get 0.25. 0.25 plus 0.4, we get 0.65. Like that, we go up to 1. Then random number assignment or random number range we have to assign. Since the first one cumulative probability is up to 10, and all these random numbers we are going to consider are two-digit random numbers. We start with 0, 0 as the first random number. Since the first cumulative probability is ending with the 10%, we need to have 10 random numbers. So since we are starting it from 0, 0, we are ending with 0, 9. After 0, 9, it is 10. And since it is ending with 25%, the previous number to 25 is 24 that we are writing here. Then we start with 25. Previous number to 65 is 64. We are writing that. Likewise, we end up to 99. Same style, we are doing it for processing time for assembly 2 also. For that, we consider this processing time and assembly 2 probabilities. We are copying there here. Then same way cumulative probability is written or calculated, and then random numbers are being assigned. Since here it is up to 20%, we start with 0, 0 ending with 19. Then we start with 20 and ending with 59. Likewise, we go up to 29. Now we can start our simulation activity. So we are writing the random numbers as we discussed earlier. On that basis, 41, first two numbers, 41 and 34. 41 is meant for assembly 1, 34 is meant for assembly 2. Then the next number, we have to go vertically down, 74 and 76. 74 here, 76 here. Now, 41, where it is lying, we go back to this assembly 1 data. Look for 41. It is taking processing time of 12. That is why here we mentioned 12. And for 34, we go to assembly 2 data. 34 is available here, which is taking 11 minutes. That is why we are mentioning 11 here. Likewise, we do it for all the random numbers. We identify from the previous tables the expected processing time and filling it up here. Now, by adding all this expected process time in assembly 1, we get 182 minutes. For similarly, expected processing time in assembly 2 is 167 minutes. Totally, there are 15 data points which we considered. So when we calculate the average, we are dividing it by 50. So 182 by 15, we get 12.13 minutes. Similarly, for assembly 2, the average expected processing time is 11.13 minutes. Hence, the average expected processing time for the company in both the assemblies becomes this plus this, that is 12.13 plus 11.13 minutes, which we get 23.26 minutes for both the assemblies put together. That much is the expected processing time which can be expected by the company.